Hey everybody, it's Nick with the Bass Hookup, and today's video is going to be more of an informational video again. I'm going to add, there's going to be some clips there in the middle of us catching some fish. I went out one day with my buddy Gary, and there's two different conditions that we fished. So one day it was cloudy, it was raining off and on, and then we just went out this weekend. I went out with Caleb Smith from Bearded Bassin, and we had a really fun day out there, had a good day, and it was sunny like this, sunny and nice, not a lot of wind, and we caught fish on that day. So two different conditions, but one of the main conditions I want to talk about at the end of this video is going to be the moon phases, okay, and how important I think the moon phases play a part in this time of the year when these bass are looking to spawn. But before we get into any of that, I just want to say thank you guys, subscribers that are subscribing, the people who are watching the videos. We truly appreciate it. It's been really cool running into a lot of subscribers, going fishing out at the gas station or the marinas or on the water. Thank you guys again. We do really appreciate your support. It's been awesome. And your support for the bait company, First Gen Fishing, with our swim jigs and, top spins, jaw droppers, all the products that we're sell so far. We are working hard to get a bunch of new products out there for you guys this year or next year. We're trying to expand our arsenal of baits. So we're really looking forward to that. It's a lot of fun designing the baits and using them. And, I just want to say thank you to you guys, because you guys motivate us to keep on doing this, keep on giving information, and hopefully it helps you guys catch more fish. With that said, if you're not subscribed or if you're new, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, because we're going to keep on giving you guys information on these Northern California lakes, the Delta a lot up here in California, but you could apply it to anywhere around the country. And we do travel, we fish lakes back east, travel all over. So there'll be things that you guys could see across the country, and you could apply any technique to those other places, on the East Coast, southern states, northern states, all that sort of stuff. So please please subscribe if you haven't already. And we appreciate you. But before I run the clips of us fishing, I just want to address, like the last video I put out, I caught a 9-something on a bed in the Delta. And I know that a lot of people don't agree with catching fish off of beds, and I have no argument. It does hurt the fishery. I'll say that. I don't, I don't think it's great for the fishery at all. But there are a lot of other things that hurt the fishery as well. And at the same time, even if you're not sight fishing and you can't physically see the fish there, and you're fishing this time of year, when these fish are spawning, you're catching bedfish. So it's not just sight fishing, really, okay? If you're throwing a Senko down the bank at this time of year, throwing a drop shot, even throwing a frog, you're probably gonna catch some bedfish throughout the day, March, April, May, even into June. So keep that in mind. So with that said, let's get this footage rolling. We'll come back and I'll talk about where these fish are at, what I've been patterning them on, what baits I'm using, and the moon phases you guys should be looking for to optimize your time out on the Delta or even the lakes at this time of year. So let's get to that footage.
I'm about to drive back to Beaver. Oh, got one. Got time. Nicer one. About time, dude. Nice one.
Yeah, that's like the
right through the snout.
small size one.
Jeez, finally. No short strikes. Well, you got one. Flash X swim jig. Man. Feel like they should be biting like crazy right now. But it's the very beginning of outgoing, so we have like no current right now. If you notice, hardly any current at all.
They seen your video.
Well, they're pre-fishing for the. Oh, there's a fish right there, dude. I was trying to shake it off, dude. Yeah, good one. I was trying to shake it off. Did you see me, dude? I was like, I got a weed on there.
Yeah,
go. Dude, this color looks good right here. Swim jig.
Yeah, I like that gold in it, dude.
A little bit of gold. Yeah, I let that one eat it. Because I was trying to shake it off. Thought it was a weed. Didn't bite it very hard. It's mush. A decent one.
That thing's out fishing the flashes from, I'll tell you that.
Oh,
That bulk.
the bulk, man, on the rainy day.
Yeah. And that gold.
It's better
man,
to-
I like that gold.
Yeah, the gold. I like the color of
Like,
this skirt.
though, a muted gold, dude. Not like a low tide deal. So you gotta stay out there a full day, both sides.
Concentrate.
Full day,
Yeah.
Picking from your food.
Got one.
Alright.
Got one. Still another little guy.
I told you to get it.
Little guy right there. Swim jig, dude, put in work. Catching them on patches of hydrilla on that side. Oh, there's a good one, dude. There's a good one. Yep. Dude, is that a striper? A striper, dude.
Hey, catching them all. I seen a big old flash.
Dude, I know,
Look at that.
way up shallow.
I seen a big flash, dude.
Yeah, I thought it was a bass, and then it started running through the weeds. I wish it was a keeper.
It's close.
It's all right.
You need 2 of those though to make
I'll go get him.
2 or 3 of those.
Nah, that's a skinny one.
16
Hey, I'll take it. It's a little bit of excitement.
like good.
But man, need to get that next 5-pound bass. He's striper way up there in the toolies. But I feel like on low tide, I feel like even on low tide, those toolies back here in the water.
Don't have enough water on them.
There's another one, dude. Yep. Right on the, yeah, decent. Right on the inside weed line.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, decent one. 3-pounder,
Yeah.
maybe 3.5.
Oh yeah.
Nice one, dude. Fatty.
I think we found
Getting them.
something.
Know how to get them.
That's on the Flash X?
That's on the Flash X again.
Here we go.
Almost
first
same
gen,
color.
First gen Flash X right there. Grab them at Tackle Warehouse.
On the homemade
Homemade
dip
Kitech.
your Kitech in pumpkin, spike it, make it match that color.
Yes, sir.
Far away from our boat.
Mm-hmm.
No stripers around here. What
Go.
Oh,
Another
dude,
one.
another nice one.
Heck yeah.
Dude, we're putting a solid limit
Solid
together.
limit.
What? Whew, man, look at that. Dude,
4.5.
yeah.
Shoo!
Choked it.
Heck yeah.
Dang, dude.
That was right at the boat too.
Good limit. Yeah, way out here.
Money. Good color.
Oh, dude, this feels like a good one too.
Another one?
Yep, big one, dude. Nice one. Look. Barely hooked. Woo, man.
You're putting a clinic
Smoking them.
on. Putting on a clinic.
Smoking them, dude. Another one. Down the gullet, just fat fish. This one I barely hooked. I got Caleb over here trying to
Mimic whatever
find
you-
something that looks like that trailer. It's the only one I have.
All right, guys, as you can see, a couple fun days on the water. And as you could also see, I was throwing the first gen Flash X swim jig. That guy right there. And not that color, but I was throwing the smoke shad. I was throwing the craw color, ghost shad. I've been throwing them all, and I don't just throw them because we designed them. You know, I want to catch fish. I'm really throwing them, and you can see I'm fishing with different people that are throwing different things, and I'm catching fish on it. I'm throwing them because I have a ton of confidence in the bait. We designed them to catch fish. I designed these Flash X swim jigs specifically for the Delta, to come through the tules, to come over wood, things like that. Have a little bit of flash there, put whatever your favorite trailer is on the back, and this time of year is the prime time to be throwing it. It'll work throughout the year. Fall, of course, is another great time of year, but right now when these fish are up, there's pre-spawn fish like I was catching with bearded bassin. Those fish are out there looking to munch, especially on high tide in that area we were in. So it's just a good bait. And compared to a spinner bait, it's not as much flash, it's not as big, it's not something they've seen before, which I think is a big deal because everything's so pressured. They've seen 10 gajillion chatterbaits, they've seen 2 million spinner baits and square bills. So just something different. It's a little more subtle, different vibration, different presentation. But how I'm fishing this thing is I'm throwing it on 17-pound P-Line Tactical fluorocarbon all the time. Throwing it on a 7.6 Lew's custom speed stick. I'm throwing it with a Lew's Tournament MP bait caster, and it's actually 8:3-1. So I got to remind myself to like slow down because it's such a fast gear ratio. But I like it to, after I hook those fish or I want to reel on a bait real quick, I could always slow down. But if I have a slow gear ratio reel, I can't speed up fast enough sometimes to catch up with those fish when they eat that bait and they take off out into deep water. So I like the high speed gear ratio on the reel. But how I'm working it, and maybe you can see from some of these clips, is I'm throwing it out there, and even if it's 3 feet deep, like with Caleb, throwing it up in the tules, letting it go to the bottom on like a tight line. So throwing it up there, kind of letting it pendulum down to the bottom, and then I pop it off bottom and I start winding it real slow, maybe twitching it every once in a while, riding it real slow. And these fish were biting it as soon as it would get to the weed line. So I'm throwing on the inside weed line, reeling it towards the weed line. It get to the weed line, and I think they're sitting right there, and they'd pin it up against that weed line, eat it, and we would never fill it. They would eat it, I'd be reeling, and one with Gary, I tried to shake it off. I thought it was a weed, but it was a fish, so didn't feel a thing. Just pick it up, and my line's swimming off, and boom, got a fish. The small ones seem to hit it, ding, ding, you know, and sometimes they don't get it. But the big ones, it's like just slack. You don't feel the bait at all. You lose all contact with it, or you're reeling it and it feels mushy, and maybe you feel it swimming off a little bit. Set the hook, boom, fish. So that's how I'm using that bait. More importantly than that, because we fished 2 different areas of the Delta and caught fish, the bite's been really good. This year, I think, is really a historic year for the Delta. As a matter of fact, one of my good buddies, Bill Talley, just won the AmSide in the new gen. I'm gonna throw a picture of him right down here. That's Bill with his trophy, first place. He went from like 50th place day 1 to first place. And how did he do that? Well, him and his pro second day weighed in 39 pounds, over 39 pounds, almost 40. Smallest fish was 6.5. And guess what they caught him on? Senko and a drop shot. Senko and a drop shot. This time of year, man, I mean, you put a Senko in your hand, you're probably going to catch some fish, and especially on a sunny day. So coming to conditions, let me talk about the conditions. So whether it be, and I'm finding this out the last couple years, whether it be rainy, high tide, low tide, sunny, calm, I'm looking more at the moon phases than I have before. And I've always felt like it was always tough catching fish around the full moon, right at the full moon, just after the full moon. And what I'm thinking is that those fish, you know, and I'm talking March, April, May, pretty much March, April, May, or if you live somewhere else in the country, the months that those bass are spawning. And what I really think it is that when you get close to that full moon, the fish, even if the water temp's kind of cool, they're still thinking about spawning. So they're interested in, you know, finding beds. The bite kind of shuts off. And then if they do spawn, everybody knows after they spawn, they don't really eat for about a week. So I'd say 4 days before the full moon, leading up to the full moon, and then about 5 days after the full moon are typically the tougher days. So with that said, the best time to fish is pretty much the week leading up to the full moon, up until about 4 days before the full moon. That week, I think, is prime time. Those big fish are feeding up. Like, I mean, I could tell from fishing and looking at the moon phase every time I go, when it's that moon phase, the week leading up to the full moon, leading up to 4 days before the full moon, maybe even 10 days before that, the fish are eating, and they need to. So they have it built into them. They need to eat up. They need to eat before they get on that bed, use all that energy, lay the eggs, guard the fry, you know, and all that. So leading up to it, if you're looking for an opportune time, the most opportune time to go fish, if you know you have a busy schedule and you're trying to plan a day to go, look at the moon phase this month and the month of May, and go the week leading up to, you know, about 4 days before the full moon. And that's going to give you guys the best time to be out there on the water where those big fish are biting. Now, after the full moon, for like the 4 or 5 days right after the full moon, I feel like I could get bit, but the size isn't there. They're the small ones. I mean, I'm talking even little ones that don't bite. I don't catch this, you know, 10 inchers, 8 inchers a week before the full moon. But during the full moon and after, those guys are eating. And I don't know if it's that they come out because they know those big fish aren't going to eat them. But take that into consideration next time you guys go out. Look at the moon phase this time of year. You know, of course, after the spawn's over, it's not going to come into play so much, but I will say this, after the spawn, if it's a full moon and you're wanting to go out there in the morning thinking you're going to tear them up on topwater, or you tore them up last week, when it's a full moon during the summer and during that topwater time of year, they eat all night. So I find that the morning bite is almost non-existent. It's not that good during the full moon. So I think it's pretty consistent throughout the whole year that the best bite is, you know, that week and a half, a week before the full moon is the best bite. So that's my tip for you guys. If you guys are going to go out there on any body of water, specifically the Delta, this time of year when they're spawning right now, that's going to be it. That's when you want to go. So again, I want to say thank you to all the subscribers. Thank you to you guys who watch this channel. Hopefully we provide you guys with some information, and we're going to keep on putting it out because we enjoy it. We like it. We like to interact with you guys. So if you guys see us come up, say hi. And hopefully, I'm hoping we have a ton of baits, you know, in the future where you guys come up. I could, you know, give you guys some baits to try or something like that. So again, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.